Hi guys, I'm Onyema, I'm an art director instructor at Utsu Academy, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be doing something very simple, very easy poster. It is very beginner friendly. This is what we are going to be designing. So let's get right to it. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we're going to click on File, click on New, and then we are going to choose a size. So I'm going to be using Instagram size. So I'll be doing 1350 for the height. So 1350 for the height, and then 1080 for the width. Okay, so I'll leave resolution at 72, color mode leave it at RGB, and then click on create. So the first thing we are going to be doing is we're going to be bringing in a background color. Okay, so the background color we are going to bring in is a gradient. So this is where I am clicking. So if you take your mouse over here, you can see create new fill or adjustment layer. So this round black and white icon, just click on that, then click on gradients. So you see this pop up, right? You see this pop up and you see this on your screen. So for style, click on the drop down and click on radial. Okay, now we need to adjust the colors. How are we going to do that? Very simple. Just click here, right? The moment you click here, you will see another pop-up. Okay, so the two boxes down control the colors, and then the two boxes up control the opacity. So opacity is basically how well you can see something. Okay, so I'll click on the box down, and then I'll click on this color, and I want it to be somewhat of a bright red, and I'll click on OK. Then I'll click on this other box, and I will click here where it says color, and I will choose a dark red. Don't worry, I know you can't see anything yet, but you will be able to in a moment. So click on OK, and then click on this white bit, and then increase the opacity. Now you'll be able to see it. Okay, so the reason why you couldn't see it before is because, like I said, this box up here controls opacity, and the opacity was 0. So that's why you couldn't see anything when we choose a dark red for this color. Okay, so the bright color we chose, see it here, then the darker color we choose, see it here. Then click on OK. The next thing I want to do is I want to increase the scale, right? Because I'm trying to go for what is called a vignette. Okay, a vignette effect. That's what I'm trying to do. So click on OK, and now I am going to head over to this part here that says rectangle tool, right? So yours, you might see something else, but just know it's the tool below the text tool. So this is your text tool, the tool below that. So just right click and then click on rounded rectangle tool. Okay, the moment you click on rounded rectangle tool, just click, then don't remove your hand from your mouse, then drag, right? So once you do that, you will see this panel. It's going to come up. If you do not see this panel, go to your window, then navigate till you get to properties. Just click on properties, it will pop up. But mine is already here. So once it pops up for the first time, you can always get it back from this dialog right here. Okay, so make sure that this chain is selected. You can see mine is selected, and then just increase this by clicking on this icon. Then don't remove your hand from your mouse, and then just drag towards the right. Okay, then when you're happy with the shape, I can change the color of this. How do I change the color? I want it to be white. So see this part here that is black, I'll just click on that, and then I'll click on this multicolored rectangle here. Or if there's a recently used color that I want to use again, I can just click any of these. So I'll just click here, and then you see another pop-up. Just select white, okay, and click on OK. So the moment you do that, you will see that this will become white. All right, so now the next thing we are going to do is this. We are going to do what is called bevel and emboss. So how do you do that? Okay, so for me, I love to tidy up my documents, and I would love to rename these elements I already have on my page. So to rename this, I'll just make sure you double click exactly on the name of that particular layer. All right, so just double click, you can see it becomes highlighted, and I'll just change this to background. Background. Okay. And then for the rounded rectangle, I'll double click on this part. If I double click on this part of the layer, you can see this part here that says layer style, this dialog. Layer style will pop up, and what we are looking for is bevel and emboss. Click on bevel and emboss, and then I'll just move this dialog over to the side so that I can see what I am doing. Okay. Now, if this is happening to you and you clicked on bevel and emboss and you are seeing blending options, do not panic. Just click on bevel and emboss, and you can see what we have showing here now is bevel and emboss. The reason why we are seeing blending option here before is because it was blending options that was selected here. So notice the difference. Now that I'm clicking bevel and emboss, can you see? So we want inner bevel selected, technique, keep it at smooth, and then you can now begin to play around with this setting. So this is what I currently have. I have 30, 90, then 105, 21, and 1. Okay. And this is pretty much good for what I'm trying to do. I might want to increase that a little bit, but this is cool for me. Right. So now that we have our embossed rectangle here, next thing I am going to do now is I need to bring in our cup of coffee. All right, so I'm just going to drag this into Photoshop. All right, so in case dragging and dropping does not work for you, what you need to do is come to File, go to Place Embedded, okay, and then you see like a dialog box is going to come up now. Yeah, then go to Downloads, and where am I going to download? Download is where I saved this picture. So you can see our picture here. Just click on it and then click on place. And then Photoshop is going to bring in that particular image for you into your document. So you can see that's brought it in. All right. So once it brings it in, just press enter and then you can begin to move it around. So in order to move anything around, right, you need to make sure you have your move tool selected. So make sure you click on your move tool and then you can move anything around. If you do not click on your move tool and you attempt to move things around, Photoshop will not answer you. Do you understand? It will not answer you. And then you get frustrated. Oh, Photoshop is hard. No, you just need to click on the correct thing. That's all. That's all. All right. So next thing we want to do is while this rounded rectangle is selected, I'll double click again. And right now, what I am looking for is a drop shadow. So drop shadow is all the way down here. Just click on drop shadow. And then I can take this to the side to see what my drop shadow is looking like. Currently, it's looking very ugly. So I'm going to increase the distance and I'm going to play with the angles, right? Because I want it to the left and down. So I'm just going to like play around with that. So I currently have it set to 51 for the angle. And then for the opacity, I'm going to drop it down to like 35. For size, I'm going to bring it down to like if 35 is fine or 32. Then for spread, I think I'll leave it as it is. And I'm not touching any other thing here. Just click on OK. So now I want it to look like this our light source. So if I turn this off, if I turn these two things off, so this is like my coffee mug. So I'll double click on this pngwing.com and then I'll write coffee mug. Okay. All right. So let me turn off my coffee mug and the rounded rectangle. Now you can see that this is like a light source, right? It's like we are shining a torchlight on a wall, and this is what the lighting is looking like. So I want a situation whereby the light is coming from the right hand side so that we can justify having this shadow, right? So how do I do that? I'll just double click on this thumbnail here, this thumbnail, just double click on it. And then the moment you double click on it, you can actually move the bright aspect of this gradient anywhere that you want. Okay. So I'll move it to the side like this. And then I'll click on OK. Right? Very simple. The last thing I just want to do right now is just to type. So in order to do that, see our text tool here. You can see horizontal type tool. Just click on that, then click type what you want to type. So the first thing I want to type is a capital letter N. Then click on the check mark. Now see it's pretty tiny. Just press Ctrl T, T for transform, and then scale this up, scale this up, scale this up. So how am I scaling? You can see we have like all these different boxes surrounding the text. So I am just going to scale that. So when you drag from any of those boxes, you can increase or reduce the size of the text. Okay, that's how it works. So once you are done, you just press enter. Now, instead of me going to click and type again, I want to maintain this size. So I've gone back to my move tool. This letter N is still selected, but if yours is not selected, just click on the letter N, press Ctrl J on your keyboard. So Ctrl J is basically how you duplicate stuff inside of Photoshop. I don't know why it's not Ctrl D or something, but yeah, it's Ctrl J. So just drag this down. Let's drag this down and then double click. Once you double click, just type FF. So in case maybe you are typing the letters and it's appearing weird, maybe it's just moving around, make sure that if you look up here, you can see these three icons, 1, 2, 3. Make sure your icon that is selected is this one. Okay. And just click on the check mark. So I don't want the text to be black. I want it to be white. So what am I going to do? I'll select both of them, right? Select both of them, and then I'll come to character. Okay. Then once I come to character, this part here that says color, I'll click on that, and then I'll just drag this to the very top left corner, and then I'll click on OK. Right. So there you have it, right? There you have it. Very simple design. Just how many layers? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy stuff, right? You can do this. Very simple. So go ahead and give it a try. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Salimu, Salimane, Salimane.